The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Well, good afternoon. We're going to talk about auto income. On that tablet and pen, please write down the words auto income. I'm going to tell you a story about me and how I got into the million to billion and how we're going to get through this, and we'll help every one of you. I like businesses that are boring, believe it or not. A boring business is something that's ran by a third party. See, most people want to start a business. That means they're going to basically hire themselves, be stressed out, put all that weight on themselves, and hope to get a piece of property or something, maybe buy something. I think the goal is to cut in line. In other words, we should do it a different way. And that's what I did. So get to know me a little bit today. My name is Ray, last name is Reynolds, and I'm going to look at things that I did in the books that I wrote years ago. I wrote a book about laundromats, dry cleaning, car washes. I had 22,000 pay phones. See, I was looking for something that bring money in, and I didn't want to really run it. So we're going to go through this and understand how to play the game. Business to me is a game, and that's what we want to do, is we want to play to win. The reason I turned it to a game when I was a kid is because every game we play, we try to win. And unfortunately in life, you tend to settle. And that's what happens to most people. They settle. And I don't think that's acceptable. So the bottom line is, you should know me as the Godfather of credit. I got the nickname from KNX Radio years ago. Been on there about 49 years. And this is always live. I want you to think about auto income. So I think you should think about it, write it down 1,000 times. What can we do to get money coming in automatically, run by a third party? What can we invest in? And if you don't have the money, we have to rebuild you so you get the money to get the honey. So again, today, tablet and pen, write down today's date. Next thing is there's no pictures and recording. I need you to put things here as a mindset. As we do this, I'd like you to draw the diagram in front of you. I want you to look around your city and your state. I want you to find empty buildings for banks and grocery stores. I want you to think what they do. See, most people complain about rich and famous people. Well, they don't pay tax. I think people should just be quiet and join them. See, we should always pay all the tax we have to pay. All right, corporations pay less tax in certain ways because they position themselves correctly. Let's use an example, Bank of America. Their parent company has a corporation and they have a branch number. That means they have a subsidiary. Their corp owns this location, subsidiary. They sign a 100-year lease. They bankrupt it, take the money and the assets, and then write off their loss on their taxes. That's called business. We look at all the banks that do this all the time. Chase Bank, US Bank, Wells Fargo. If we want to look at Walmart, we can look at Sam's Club. They do the same thing too. So what do we look at? Geico is Warren Buffett's company, one of his, and they ran out of California years ago. So here we got 11 cities filed bankruptcy. So the goal is, if we're going to accomplish our goal, we have to understand how it works. In other words, read the instruction manual and get rules and tools. So the next thing is think about, number one, we want to start a business without bringing the pain home. Unfortunately, what most people do is they bring the pain home because they steal the money from their personal credit. They jack it up and get stuck. They jack it up, get stuck, they get back themselves in a corner, they hawk their house and lose everything they have. And that's about 87% of people. So what do we need to do? We should think about, what is a true CFO? A true CFO, financial. We got to look at this. How do we reprogram our brains into millionaire status? We can see it, we can believe and go get it. It's not so easy. So if we look at this today, it's like looking behind the curtain. I had no choice as a kid. I had to get out of hell. I was born in a taxi, and I got to be with Mrs. Hope, the she-devil from hell. So what I want you to think about, every time you see rich and famous, how did they do it? What did they do? How is it positioned right? What does it need to be done? How can I do what they do? So the ultimate was pretty simple. When I was dropped off at the Redondo Beach Pier from 3 to 9.5 years old, I stole and ate off a trash can. But I wanted to get better and be past that. I looked at Marina Del Rey, Torrance Rocks, Palos Verdes, and I knew they had money. All I had to do is figure out how they did it, and I want to copy it. So born in that taxi kind of sucks. Rags to riches. I got my first million at 14 and a half. I've been in Car Finder. From there, I got double billion, 2.6 billion, 26. Having fun doing that as well. But again, it's not easy. It's a pain in the ass. So born in a taxi. She didn't want me. So the reality is your journey can begin today with me, and I'll show you how to play. And the bottom line is we're going to work together all the time if you want to. I got classes on Wednesdays and all day Saturday. So if we basically start from the beginning, we're going to look at what we need to do about personal credit. If you say you want to build houses, you want to redo this or that, or get a franchise or something, we have to understand rules and tools. First thing we have to do is look at our personal credit. When I was working and training Ken Yarborough, security chief at TRW years ago, I created a system and they actually used it. A spear and changed the whole world because I bought TRW in '96. Every card needs a sticky on it. If you took your credit cards and put a sticky, you put the balance of, on the card, what the card is worth. Balance is 29%, no more than that, all right, and 25%. So if you take this spot between 25, 29%, your score is going to maintain. Anything at 30%, your score drops. You get stuck, you can't get any more. Listen very carefully. To maintain a 750 score, you have to master these cards. If we take all these cards here today, and we do the 25, 29% rule, and we take these cards that do not fluctuate at all, everybody can maintain a 750 score. So they can actually be a true CFO. So we got to look at rules and tools. 750, 25, 29%, and gold and platinum personal cards. As we play the game, so far, I don't think it's worked for you. Have you got to the million, to the billion? I got an email from somebody, I don't need coach, I don't need this. I make my business, I do this, and I make money. Eventually, he won't make money. He'll run into a bad time. Business will change. The reality is he's working his tail off 12 hours a day. He's not really doing auto income. Bottom line here is simple. I'm direct. My way works. Yours doesn't. I'd like to add a little bit of what I can do for you with you. Now, I have no excuses. During the week, all right, it's like on this weekend, on Saturday, I got classes from 6 o'clock to 5 o'clock in the afternoon on Saturday. They're always live. You might want to take a picture if you want to join my goal setting, education, analyzation, because they're free. Now, I accomplish all my goals. I don't have an excuse. But not everybody likes me. Not everybody likes you. That's how it works. So the reality is I reached all my goals. And every time I hear some ding-dong say white men can't jump, I hold the record for the highest kick and the fastest kick since 1981. When you accomplish your goals, there's a lot of haters out there. So be careful. They like to put you down too. Because if you got more than they don't really want to work. So understand, half the people in this world are lazy. The other half better see it, leave it, go get it. So as we play this game, if you go to raisecredit.com, you can find out classes about me too. From here, I was bored at 26 years old, and I try to help people and all kinds of other fun stuff. When you have everything you want, what are you supposed to do? And I'm talking mansions and race boats and all the goodies. My wife calls this my hobby, and that's okay, hobby. All right, the reality is I want to change the world. If you allow me to change your world, I'd like to do that too. So let's think. Let's write a couple things down right now. Self-confidence, we have to build that up. Self-discipline, self-motivation, fighting through the pain. Here's the problem with most of you. I'm sorry to tell you the truth, but it's true. You allowed yourself to be one, and that means very simple, you brought the pain home. There's no reason to do that. All right, if you would have been a division process in the first place, you wouldn't have brought the pain home. So I want you to think about corporation, subsidiary, corporation, division. If I'm going to roll the dice in a business, do I want to jeopardize the corporate or my family? The ultimate goal is we have to play the game to win. So I have a foolproof program that I created for me. I promised myself I'd never get married and have kids unless I had a foolproof program. It blanketed the family and protected my assets. And I created that. I have a wife, I have 6 kids and 10 grandkids, and 1 on the way. So winning the game of business, I wrote 46 years ago. On page 6, paragraph 3, I put financial freedom, cash flow free per time, even though someone has tried to steal that too. But let's understand something, the rules and tools. All right, 15 years ago, almost 15 years ago, 2009, my wife wants to take one of the yachts in the backyard. All right, what's the fireworks? No problem. What happens? See, you think when you get all the money, you're going to be on top of the world, and sometimes you are, sometimes you get knocked off again. So we took out one of the yachts in the backyard, a group of people that came out of country. One of them had a disease or something, and I ended up being in a coma the next day. My wife tells the office he's in a coma. They say he's going to die. Okay, Tom goes to my office. All right, so it is basically Ron. Ron takes a U-Haul truck to steal books and CDs. Tom was my IT manager. He stole my websites and my phone numbers and sold it to a porn site. Never called the phone number on the CDs. So the bottom line is we all get knocked down. But the goal is how do we get back up again? So if you don't have a copy of the Millionaire's Founders Key, you might want to get a copy. I sold it at the Bonaventure for 32 years for $5,000 a set. It is A to Z to the $1 million. Simple to do. All you have to do is follow through. The office sells it for about $4.99. I give it away for $1.99 if it's a Zelle product during the webinar. Simple. Now I want you to think about something. Let's say today that everything you have on your credit's all screwed up. Let's say, okay, 750, 650, 500, whatever it is. There's a way that I can create something for you. And when I wrote the Fast Track program for Dun & Bradstreet years ago, I can take supply and vendor credit and I can turn it into cash. Okay, that can help you take that and balance the debt over here. I'm sorry, but you're going to have to steal from Peter to pay Paul to make Mary happy sometimes. That's called life. So if you allow me to work with you, I can help you do that as well. And then we can balance the score and we can go get some more, but it's up to you. From here I am in that coma. The hospital actually took a picture. We'll Google the address right there. You'll find out the largest U-Dock in Huntington Harbor, where my yachts and my race boats and the goodies are. From here, starting a business, running a business, not easy. Some of you, you've had your friends and family kind of rip you off, most of us. So if you're going to realize one thing, they might knock you off the cliff. They might not catch you. Hold your breath a little bit too. So let's focus on a corporation. A corporation is the only way you can get to where you want to go. Because what happens is, bottom line is, corporation is a legal person, as I circle it right there. For 46 years, I've given corporations for free to everybody. They pay their filing fee. I don't understand why people spend thousands of dollars to hire a CPA and attorney for and get a corporation. It's no magic wand, and they don't learn diddly squat. So let's understand a corporation is a legal person. If you don't have one, I'll give it to you for free. You pay your filing fee. From there, at 7.5 years old, I learned this. Now, I was freaked out when I heard a corporation is a legal person. To me, it's like it hit something in my head, and I wanted to understand what it meant. I rode my bicycle down to the Torrance Police Department. Next door is a library. I went, ma'am, what does this mean? She walked away. 5 minutes later, she said, here's a microfiche, here's a bug. Now, I understand. It doesn't tell us much because we don't have a blueprint. That's what I created for me. Here's what happens. A corporation may sue or be sued. Your corporation is on the Secretary of State's website. That means your name, your office list, you're the incorporated, you're on the bank account. When they sue the corp, they sue you. The reality is you could have divisions that don't even have your name on it under the corporate umbrella if you want to not bring the pain home. So my first corporation, after going to the library for 2 years, was Helping Hand Industries. I sent $10 to this Secretary of State, of California website. I sent it in the mail. I came back at a corporation called Helping Hand. Nowadays it's $30. I did get $100,000 of credit cards in the mail. You see, back in the 70s, 80s, people got credit cards in the mail without applying for credit. And I got named in the movie Dave. Now, I screwed up. All right, I basically started the first Orange County Blind Center. I used the word Braille. I didn't realize it belonged to the Braille Institution, but I was 12.5 years old. So I got named in a lawsuit. Scared the crap out of me. They sued the corp, they sued me. Very simple. Our goal should be never bring the pain home. As we play the game, when you hear the word no, please don't hear no. That means that person doesn't know how. And that's why they told you no. They don't know how to do something. We're going to go around that. Now, I'd like you to write down today's date. Let's put a 90-day window on what we're trying to accomplish. At least get it started. 90 days, okay? Getting goodies like I obtained as well there too. So let's understand today. Today, that's your age, whatever it might be. All right, we're getting older, slower. We're not as pretty as we used to be. We're running out of time, maybe have 50 more years. The reality is the lack of knowledge is the stupidity of man and woman. People aren't stupid, but they do stupid things. So I'd like you to think about building a legacy and trying something a little different than you've been doing. Next, I'd like you to write down basic irrevocable trust. I'd like you to write down UCC1, the entitlement of ownership. There's 19 ways to use UCC1. If you walk to your house or your business today, put on UCC1. All right, the bottom line is when you're going to die, we're all going to die. Where's your goodies going to go? Right now, it's probably going to have somebody's going to have a little swap meet. And so everything you have for $1 each. Why don't we tie it into an irrevocable trust so we know where our stuff goes when we're dead? I want you to learn to plan to die too. You see, we have to build that empire. So let's understand the Kennedys, the Gettys, the Firestones, the Fords, the Hiltons. They left the corpse, their children took over the corpse. They didn't have to pay tax. There's certain ways to do that. So if we look at that corporation again, it's a legal what? Person. It may sue or be sued. We got to be careful of that. And if we have divisions under the corporation, we won't bring the pain home. When I was a little kid, all the grown-ups kept saying, don't put your eggs in one basket. I asked what it meant. I couldn't get an intelligent answer. I thought they were stupid when I was a kid. I grew up and realized they were. So a corporation, it's on the Secretary of State's website. When they sue it, they sue you. If you do it through the division process, so I invented 8586, you could protect your family and the corporation. So what we're going to do is talk about some free money. Let's say we want to start a business. What most people do, again, they jack up their personal cars, jack up the house, and screw it all up. No, we're going to build corporate cash credit, all right, lines of credit. We're going to get checkbook money, and we're going to do it the right way. If we're going to mess up anything, it'd be a division. So understand, if we do this correctly, my way, what's going to happen is you're not going to bring the pain home. You're going to start to be an investor. From there, you have 16 ways to do this, 16 ways. Now, it's like when I had my 19 houses, I was 17 and a half. I was doing flippity-dippity-doos. I found out the buyer's a liar, the agent and the broker too. I hired the contractor, hired the subcontractor outside saying they stand outside Home Depot. So what are we going to do? They're all trying to steal my money. I'm 21 years old. I decided I wanted to be the bank. All right, I want to be the bank. I want to play the game my way. So let's think what I did. The first car I sold, I wanted to see if it would work. I gave me the deposit on the car. They're going to go to the credit union for the balance. I said, no, one of the companies I work for is going to carry the balance for you. It's one of my divisions. So I sold them the car and got the down payment. All right. And I did a monthly payment to the division. And it was $413 extra every month. All right. And I even put a GPS on the car for 7 years. Is that okay? When I did a piece of property, I did the same thing. Not the GPS, but I did a property. Down payment and became the bank. Why haven't you tried to be the bank? So let's understand, if we took an apartment complex today and we dissect it into pieces and we decide the assignment of mortgage, the assignment of mortgage allows you to be the bank for 30 years. If we took my real estate system, all right, my financial system, you would do an assignment of asset. Okay, you could win even there too, auto income. As we look at this, let's think about 14 cities right now in states. There's properties brand new for under $100,000. Okay, we could actually the down payment's $5,000. So you want to do real estate? Why don't we buy 3 or 4 of these on a card? They give a checkbook, write that in escrow. Why don't we get a local real estate office to maintain it for us, lease it out, all right, or we get a Section 8? What do you think? So let's look at the banks, repos. Every bank has a website that shows you can actually take over the loan on repo pieces of property, how you can play even through the HUD process, or residual income, auto income. We can look at short sale, repos, foreclosures, auctions. So if we want to do the real estate game, auto income again. If we want a dry cleaners, all right, this gentleman, I got him 3 dry cleaners, $63,000 a month. Okay, they're making a lot of money, like $20,000 per unit. From here, how about basic laundromat? From there, how about this location? The man passes away, God rest his soul. Wife sells it for $5,000 down. The assets alone inside the restaurant were worth $200,000. It's opportunity. From here, we look at a Wendy's restaurant. Maybe we're going to look at a Jack in the Box. How about a gas station? How will we look at the empty locations? We can turn it into something and sublease it out. See, we can become the landlord. So I want you to think today from anywhere from a car wash, because I wrote a book on that as well years ago, and this is how I created up to $100,000 a month. then until $1 million a month, and he actually got into billionaire status through corporation. Storage units, dry cleaning, laundromats, Wendy's, Jack in the Box, all right, gas station, okay, all right, basically maybe parking lot structure. One of my clients, I put him in the business of basically valet parking, and it's a franchise kind of thing. They make a lot of money. The next thing is, what if we do EV charging stations? So here's a way that you could actually look at different types of businesses that are auto income managed by a third party. Again, I don't want to run a business. That was never my goal, to run a business. My goal was very simple. All right, get the money coming in. I needed my $1,000 a month when I was 17 years old. The payphones and all the other things that I did made it work for me. So if we look at the auto income, that's the ultimate goal. From there, it's like if we do basically like a coaching thing. In the beginning, getting to know me, all right, the goal is like a blueprint call. This is to take past, present, and future and kind of blueprint your life. We got to move forward in a different direction, a different way. The next thing is we want to make sure we give you $25,000 of cash credit. That way you get some money to finance the business and write it all off. We expedite a rapid refresh. Ken Yarbrough and I and Harold Stokes years ago, I created rapid scoring for mortgage companies when I realized that the brokers are lying to their teeth, saying the loan to value is 40, 50%, never was. From there, if you don't have a corporate 9 divisions, I want to make sure you have that as well. All right, next thing is you have level 1, 2, 3 in specialty classes. All right, and that corporation's actually dated from last year, so that way you can turn around and go get what? Up to $150,000 of checkbook money now. So here's a program that we basically sell for about $11,000 in the pieces. If you want to get involved into a 6-week coaching, there are 2 positions left for my 30 anyway. From there, I'll be sold out. I give it away for about a 50% discount for about $5,000. And it's going to be up to you if you want to get into that. That means you and me are going to work on your blueprint weekly. From there, you always take a picture when it comes to me. Zelle, Ray Reynolds recipient, ray@racecredit.com, bank transfer, deposit, or wire. As we look at this, the next thing is you can always email if you want to use a card. That'll be up to you. Now, I'd like you to think about credit, loan, and money. Write it down, credit, loan, and money. Credit, loan, and money. Let's think of something. What I did a long time ago is, as I studied Rich and Famous and went to school and all that kind of stuff, to leverage money. As my business received money coming in, the bills are being paid. I took $100,000, put it in the CD in the bank account. I referenced 3 times 5, and the bank gave me $1.5 million line of credit. I took my corporation as a management company, and I got a franchise. I got another division for apartment complex. What I created was financial freedom. This is in one of my original books 46 years ago called Winning the Game of Business. This, to me, created what I called auto income. And that's what I called it in my book years ago, auto income. And literally got up to $100,000 a day plus. So if we look at this today, let's say, all right, you don't want to do a lot of things. You don't want to do real estate. You don't want to do these other things. You don't want to be an investor. Then why don't you loan that money? Why don't I build you a $100,000 card and you loan at $50,000? All right, that way you have a safety. That creates $2,400 a month income after the bill's paid. Why don't you design your income? Because that's what I did. I designed the income I wanted to bring in, and that way it was very simple for me. Now, let's understand something. My dashboards are different than your dashboards. Okay, I position people. Write down the word positioning. So this means I'm going to line up your dashboard in mine. I have 7 dashboards. I'm an affiliate to 119 creditors. Very simple. I'm going to add you to my dashboard and to my credit history. I'm going to get you a card off one of my credit cards in history and ask for separate billing. If I do that for you, that means you have an agreement that I do this on your behalf. For instance, Bob went after a $500 card. Okay, I said, Bob, let me try. I got him $3,500. Linda, $300. By the time I was done, it was $2,000. I'm building them up from scratch. They were all screwed up. Robert, $4,000. Got him $30,000. Okay, here we have Mike. He got $1,000. From there, we got him $11,000. So the goal is, if we rebuild someone's life and credit, they understand rules and tools, my dashboards work with them, we're going to be able to get them the personal and business credit they need to finance the business. And remember, the only thing to write off on the credit is the business credit, interest rate and credit card and everything else. You can't write off personal credit cards. So if I add my history to my dashboard, guess what we get to accomplish? The goal. Divisions. Back in '84, I did not want to pay franchise tax fee for a bunch of corporations. So I found out that I go into Sacramento, and I said I'd like to create a division or entity, because I read chapter 18 many, many times. Well, you can modify a form, or you can basically create one. Well, I modified one and it changed the world, and everybody uses the division process. No, they understand the division, they don't know how to put it together. And that's where I come in. Every division is going to allow us to create more money. You jeopardize you and your family. You are one, that's not good. A corporation with entities called divisions, we get to do many things. So let's think about something today. If we were to loan out money or have 9 locations of a McDonald's or a Wendy's, each location has a number to it, kind of like your banks do. So when I basically took each division and I daisy chained, listen to the word daisy chain. I got one card, which allows me to get under the Fair Lending Act 99 more cards. I can literally turn it into $100 million, and that's a little ridiculous. So now I'm getting the financing for the business that I want to build. As I built my first matrix, you'll find it in the book called Buckets of Money. Buckets of Money, by the time I was done with it, it took me 18 months. All right, I was loaning, I had $53 million of credit cards, and they're starting to shrink my limits. Like, what are they doing? Well, I realized if I keep the cards active at the basic percentage of what I'm looking to do, I can accomplish the goal. And corporate credit, since it doesn't hurt the personal credit report, doesn't show up past 10,000, I can max the thing out if I had to. So I created a matrix, all right, because I want to do a little bit of everything. 4.6 million, you'll see it in the book called Buckets of Money, and it was 190,000 a month income. Is that good or not? So this took literally, all right, 41 divisions to create auto income, and that's what I was looking to do, auto income. Again, another way to make money. People want to work hard or be lazy. There's their problem. Most people, are lazy. Now, when I did this one, it took me 36 months. All right, because it took me literally 16 million to create $661,000 a month. And these are the things you can do as a corporation, do small loans. And you can make a bloody fortune if you want to. So there's many ways to create auto income. And I want you to get that in your head. Buying a business, okay, as long as it's run by a third party. Running your own business, I don't get it. So the only thing is you build these blocks and blocks and blocks that can stop you is you. So there's no reason not to roll the dice as a division, because if you screw it up, you can walk away. You can disconnect, isolate, incorporate, and get rid of the bad piece, like the banks and the cities and the grocery stores do. The goal should be to make auto income. Now, there's 5 major things here. Everything to me is rules, tools, and steps. So understand that. All right, it's all a write-off. All of this is a write-off. Okay, it's free money. All I gotta do is maintain the damn payment, and I can have the card pay its own payment. Okay, as long as it has the limit to do so. It doesn't hurt the family. A division gives me my line of defense. And from there, I'm gonna build a legacy, simple, and create auto income. So if we took this map one more time, the banks and grocery stores, get it in your head, in your city and state, you see banks and grocery stores that have filed bankruptcy and empty locations. That means a corp owning a corp. I want corp and division process. Your name's not on the division. One of the greatest gifts you can have. From there, it doesn't matter if it's Sam's Club, Geico, or Cities. What is our ultimate goal? We all want to get that money coming in. Okay, and that's the ultimate goal. I don't want to be rich. I just want to run a rich corporation. You stop bringing the pain home. You become a certified CFO. And you change your thought way. The way you think has to change. Believe me, it's a mindset. All right, I reprogram people all the time, the right way to think about it, and I tell them what to do all the time. Now, I created my first blueprint. I was 9.5 at the Torrance Library. I called it See It, Believe It, Go Get It. And that's what works for me. So treading water, playing it safe, what most of you do. I'd like you to write down 5 things right now, and these are a must-have. In other words, a must-have. You're going to need that 750 score, period. And I'll help you get that and rebuild it the right way in the first place. Now you're learning some rules and tools. Corporation, about 26 divisions. You're going to need up to $1 million of cash credit. checkbook money, and supply and vendor money. These are the 5 things, the foundation to get to millionaire. Again, this is a must-have. Hopefully you wrote it down. The goal is to repackage people, and I always say like Humpty Dumpty. Okay, like companies like Repackage America, Owning America, all these other companies out there as well. So our goal is to help people get back on track the right way. So we look at the 1,000 steps. I don't have a magic wand. Okay, never have. I never claim to have it. You will work your tail off, and I'll hold your hand. You must work with you for you. Again, I don't have any BS to give you. I will give you the truth. And if you screw up, please don't blame me for your screw up. I have about 12 people that blame me for every time they screwed up. All right, the bottom line is not everybody likes me, not everybody likes you. You have the Millionaires Founders Kit that can help you through that process as well. So what's a corporation again? Legal person. On Secretary of State's website. They sue it, they sue you. We take a corporation because it says may sue or be sued. We do a division under that. The way I designed it in 85, 86, the bottom line is you can roll the dice and not hurt the family. So a division. Now, having my shopping centers and my apartment complexes and commercial real estate, my Shakey's, my 31 flavor, my donut store, my Subway, and all these pieces. Everything's going good. What if you have a bad piece? All right, what do? You disconnect, isolate, incorporate. You might have a bad tenant. So what is our goal? We have to plan the problem. The problem always happens. I mean, blank hits the fan all the time. So if we plan the problem, division process, we'll save the corp and our family. So always think about saving the corp and the family. Because if they sue the corp, they sue you. And that hurts your family no matter what you say, no matter what you do. Line of defense. Okay, line of what? Defense. So again, I want you to Google bankruptcy today. You see, 90% of this world, they have crappy credit because they don't know rules and tools how to play. Bottom line is bankruptcy allows Social Security number or tax ID. Who wants to be the duck? If you allow me as an affiliate to basically obtain your tax ID for the corporate, the divisions, it allows my system that I developed years ago, all right, to create one thing, Experian, TransUnion, Equifax. Instant credit reports for corporations getting corporate credit. Next, I'm going to line people up for what I call checkbook money, the ultimate goal. So let's talk about you again. You want the American dream. Live on the hill, drive the car of your dreams, everybody sues you, they get diddly squat. You want to get some money coming in, $100,000 a month. That should be your goal, $100,000 a month, period. From there, division of me. We look at the form that was designed for credit and banking purposes only, all right, and how to receive money, not to pay tax till you're profitable. And this is where people don't pay attention. You're so busy hiring somebody who doesn't know how to do things anyway, and they let you down every time. Okay, it's about time you get your hands dirty. The name, legal name of entity or individual person. That means a person's name, corporation, division, subsidiary can be on that form. That means we can take a corporation with divisions and build $1 million of cash credit. We can take, when I bought this Lamborghini, part of the collection, here's the keys. It was $6,800 a month. Very simple. All right. If I screw it up, it'll ruin my credit. They'll report it to the IRS as a 1099-C. So now I'm going to have double crappy credit. But what about all the pieces? Shopping centers, all the pieces. Because I bought it to a division of a corporation, and I guaranteed as a division of me, what do I get to do? If I have a problem with a piece, I can disconnect, isolate, incorporate, and put it over here and maintain everything else, like your banks and your grocery stores do all the time. So this means if I can't save it within 6 months, I'm going to bankrupt it under the Federal Protection Act. I have no intent to do fraud. When I sign a lease of a building, I sign that lease as a division. When I put properties in divisions, what am I doing? Separating liability, because we're always going to have a bad person. Not everybody likes us. Something's going to get screwed up. The next thing is how we receive money, the SS4. The SS4 is to receive money. You're not taxable until you're profitable. It's a mindset to understand how it works. Every card we get is allowed under the Fair Lending Act up to 99 more. Again, we can create millions of dollars of credit. Is it easy? No. Is it a pain in the ass? Yes. So your corporation today, when you find it on Secretary of State's website, search it. Find your corp, find your name, find your household list. If you use your home address, change it. Because that's one of the dumbest things people do all the time. You add yourself to the national mailing list and the robocall list as well. You got to put your ducks in a row. And the bottom line is right now when they sue that corp, they sue you, and that sucks. I want you to create a line of defense. So if I'm going to work with you on a daily base or weekly base, we get you past go. So corporations allow 4 things and raise rules. These are my rules. Your corporation can buffer tax when tax is due till it's profitable. Credit is a write-off. Car fleet price and the free buffet at the hotel. That's all it's allowed to do. Divisions are going to give you the line of defense. They're cheap, multiple functions, buy at wholesale price, multiple credit reports, real estate, separate liability. Our goal is to build a line of defense and not hurt the family, which 90% of the people do, probably you. We build a corporate umbrella. We build up to $1 million of cash credit. So what do we get to do next? What are you going to do? What are you willing to lose? What are you willing to lose? I promised myself I would not get married unless I basically had a foolproof program. I have a wife, 6 kids, and 10 grandkids, and 1 on the way. I made a promise not to hurt my family, and this is the goal. Your corporation, if you get sued, they hurt you. Divisions are their line of defense. This is a way everybody gets checkmate every time, no matter what happens. And we never bring the pain home, and we work on getting auto income. The bottom line, getting goodies like this and more goodies. Again, I always put the RayReynoldsUniversity.com and all the goodies as well. So what is our goal? Reach the goal. I got to ride with Neil Diamond twice in the love ride. Have fun. So as you get these things, understand like things like this is usually when you get to $5 to $10 million. The goal should be $1 million of credit cards, up to $5 million of checkbook money. That way we can finance the business. You'll find the steps, rules, and tools in the Millionaires Founders Kit. Money making machine. This means if I position you here and I rebuild you here to the 750 at the same time, I'm going to build corporate division credit. I'm going to go after the Capital One first. It's a Green Spark Unlimited up to 100,000. It has 2 sisters of 30,000. We're going to do that 160 times 9. The B of A times 9. Each one of these ways to do this is up to 1 million on each card. Again, the Wells Fargo, all right, the Inc., and even the Gold card. So if we just take 5 basic cards and build it up and away, we can get up to $5 million. And then we look at checkbook money. That means I line you up and explain to you exactly how to do this, and I coach you every step of the way, unsecured, as long as you have a 2-year division or corporation. And these are my 5 favorite ones to get up to $5.4 million of checkbook money. And that's the ultimate goal. As we do that, that way you can get that franchise, that piece, that property, that apartment complex, you get something. And that's the goal, auto income. All right. So here, Will, you have a question, you raise your hand, type the question, please. Okay, very simple to do, just type the question. It's very important we understand what is our ultimate goal, getting auto income. Okay, because what we want to do is get to the point that we're on top of the game. In other words, we get to play the game every step of the way. And that's what we're trying to do, is play the game. All right, because I want to win. Every time you play a game, what is your goal? To win. And that's why I always call it winning the game of business or winning a game of credit. Now, let's look at Carl here for a second. Carl here, his line of credit, Bank of America is $1.2 billion. He brought $728 million last year. Because the line of credit and the way he positions himself, he doesn't pay state or federal tax. Walt Disney actually put an IOU in place to not pay tax on $1 billion. So if we look at this correctly, all right, we can get from $1,000 to $75,000 and leverage it into $1.25 million. Now let's understand, as you go through this work and this process, the goal is to take corporate credit, which is a write-off, and the minimum payment, all those pieces. We can balance that and buy the lifetime income. The lifetime income should always be real estate or franchise, because they stay alive forever, and on top of that, even during a pandemic. Let's pretend today you won the lottery, okay? And what's going to happen today? Now what? Well, you took the cash value like everybody does. So your CPA attorney says put it in your bank account. I'm going to say no. All right, when you put it in your personal account, SSN, Social Security number. You're going to have to pay tax on the interest you earn on the money you put in the account. I want you to do it my way. I want you to take that and have a division of you. All right, and this is where you see an attorney go, what's that? Or you have a corporate tax. Stop. A division of you is added to the corporate bank account, the parent company's tax ID. You deposit the money, you sit with the banker, you borrow against it. Borrow money is not taxable. What you're learning to do is create money that turns into millions and billions. And that's the goal. Everything we're trying to accomplish and do, we have to follow through on it. Okay. All right, let's see. Got a question here. All right, shows primary corp name and 2 subsidiary names. Well, they're divisions names, not subsidiaries. Okay. All right, as you do this, before I complete that, well, let's reach out to you because that's more of a technical question versus this is like an overview to kind of get into auto income. And we'll reach out to you tomorrow as well. No problem. Every piece of property you get should be a division because you don't know which one's going to slip and fall and sue you and hurt you. Your tax and what you have paying personal tax, house payment tends to offset it. So all of a sudden, Amazon doesn't pay tax on the first $10 billion. Now they're worth several billion. They don't pay tax. How does that work? It's simple. They're doing what they're allowed to do. There's no loophole. We watched him buy, this gentleman here, buy Twitter within 2 days in front of the world, borrowing $44 billion, then screwed up in 3 weeks. Now it's X marked the spot. But the reality is this money here, he can do what he wants to do. This guy has a spaceship. He should actually compete with the other guy. There's another guy with a spaceship as well. So what is our goal? Our goal should be, how do we get to what they're doing? All we have to do is master the rules and tools. You could join the club and you win the battle. So it's just like here. I mean, let's understand. All right, he's paid $165 million for a property. He only uses 12 rooms. Mark here buys all the properties around where he lives. He's paranoid. From here, what do we have? Okay. All right. Someone says Buffett only has a house since 1968. The man owns 65 houses. So again, you understand how it works. So if you join the club, you get to win. These companies do not pay state and federal tax because of the way that they position themselves correctly. All right. We do pay, property tax and other things like that. But what is the ultimate goal? So how you receive money matters. SSN, tax, probate when you're dead. SS4, no taxes due to you're profitable. You have to understand auto income. If we're going to get to the profit zone, we're going to have to understand a corporation with 9 divisions minimum. That's like 9 locations of a Wendy's or a Taco Bell or even a McDonald's or a piece of property. Auto income, and that's what the goal should be. We're going to focus in the future of a Nevada LLC. Right now, you want to incorporate your own state. You don't need Nevada because it's about $3,500 until you basically have your position correctly and you're in the profit zone unless you're in Nevada. Nevada is known as a tax-free state. I was the largest registered agent in the world, 2009 before the coma. And from there, I sold 10 times more Nevada corps than anybody on this planet still to this day. So I understand Nevada pretty well. As we look at this, again, I don't want to spend the $3,500 unless I have to live in Nevada. Incorporate your own state. As we look at this, when you get to the profit zone, your parent company will be LLC in Nevada. As we play this game, remember, raise rules. You have an SSN. That means you only get one. You get one chance not to screw up, and 90% of people screw up. All right, 100,000 of credit's all you're going to get. You're going to use 29% rule. You have 71,000 of safety. And what you're going to do is not use this to start a business. All that does is hurt the family. Okay, we don't bring the pain home. Next, we look at the corporation. All right, the corporation, whatever state it might be, we're going to create division process. All right, you don't name the corp after you and what it does. That makes no sense. And then what do? We want to create a line of defense. The problem is no one plans the problem until they get their assets kicked. So we have our divisions in place, one for a house, our franchise, current business. All right, and what do we create? 100,000 to $1 million per entity. We can create up to $4 million of credit correctly. So our goal is to understand you need to do self-analyzation. Your LLC or C corp should become S, and then you offset all the taxes so you get to 3 to 5 million. All right, up to that as well. Our goal is simple. It's like Dun & Bradstreet. If we were going to sell supply and vendor credit right now or build it up, that'll help us actually reduce the debt over here. We can steal from Peter to pay Paul to make Mary happy. Is it easy? No. So what do we look to do? It's very simple. OPM money. That is down in Broad Street. What is our goal here? Let's think. If you allow me to line you up correctly, if you were maxed out over here, all right, I can help you build this and would turn this supply and vendor into cash credit. I wrote the book and the process on that 30 years ago. So we can turn this into cash, reduce your debt here and balance the debt. And that would be the ultimate goal, is to balance that debt to solve a problem. Because everybody wants to hopefully get to auto income. You could sell products on Amazon and eBay. Once again, I have no excuses. If you're not a client currently, go to the goal setting on Saturday or the credit education analyzation. Very simple to understand. It's this Saturday, it's every Saturday. I accomplish my goals because I don't stop till I do. Having the goodies, very simple. And again, white men do jump, stupid people say we don't. From there, Ray at raisecredit.com. So if we get into a coaching program, I'm going to do a blueprint call with you. This means we're going to go from past, present, and future. I need to look good, bad, and ugly. We have to repackage you. Family, corporation, divisions, irrevocable trust, car, all right, house, all right, auto income, cash flow free up our time. A blueprint call, I usually want you and your partner of life on the phone call together. We charge $1,000 for the call. We're going to design auto income. From there, there's a list. You might have a goal list, and hopefully you do. But what about the daily list, the weekly list, and the project list? See, getting to phase one is literally getting you to the point you get your credits good here, over here. Now we have to work on the projects. It's not easy. Again, auto income. I like the boring business, I always have. All right, every time I spent $40,000 on a laundromat or dry cleaner or something I wanted to do, I created up to $10,000 a month. I didn't have to run a business. Every time I invested $100,000, it was up to $45,000. Every time I did $250, I got up to $75,000 per entity. So I want you to think differently from now on. Warren Buffett did what I'm describing to you, what I did for me as well, auto income. I think it's your turn. That's what I think. He owns 100 companies plus. He has his favorite 10. There's no difference between Mr. Buffett and you. The ultimate goal is you have to start somewhere. Let's say you like the real estate. Okay, here's an apartment complex. They want $3 million. No problem. It's 10% down. We build a credit. We get the apartment complex. We get a new loan, and now we have $13,452 coming in. Problem is you think you're done, and I'm going to say you're not done. One of those people can slip, fall, and sue you and take everything you just built. It only takes one lawsuit to one person to screw up your life. All right, what we're going to do is my way. We're going to split deed each unit. We're going to transfer liability off of you and put it back onto the tenant because you're going to basically do assignment of mortgage. So the difference is now you create $76,800 a month. Again, going to the expos, what happens is you kind of like deer in the headlights. Which one do I pick? I want you to pick existing. Again, these are the types I always picked that made sense to me. That's why I wrote books and things how to do these things, because I wanted it to my $100,000 a month plus. And that's the ultimate goal. From there, real estate franchise storage units. We have a 3 or 6 months, 3 months, 6 months, and 12 months. So this is auto income, and this is me personally, all right, coaching you, all right, one-on-one. Once again, this is the 6 weeks. It's $11,000. Okay. What happens is you're getting $25,000 of credit, expedited the rapid, corp in 9 divisions, and all the classes for the time you're in the 6 weeks coaching. The goal is to give you a 50% discount. So in other words, I'm giving you $25,000 of credit. When you invest $49.99, I'm changing your life 100%, and I'm giving you 5 times your money back. That's the goal. It is a Zell. There's only 2 positions available anyway. From here, all right, if you need to use a card, you just email me, and that's all you got to do. So when we look at, the 3 months, it kind of lines you up. 6 months is to get your first location. 12 months should be multiple locations. Your ultimate goal should be $5 million this year. Very simple. So I want you to think about these things, and you want to get basically serious about it. All right, I only put 30 people in coaching in the first place. I can literally only do 6 calls per day, and you're stuck with me every step of the way from the beginning to the middle to the end. So as we do these things, 3 months of coaching, all right, basically calls and analyzations all the time and rapid rescore, all right, then I'm going to give you some credit with it as well. So if you got into the 3 months of coaching program, we're going to do projections, limits, and daisy chaining of credit. Ultimate goal. From there is literally $8,000, and you get 3 months of coaching. But then I'm handing you 150,000 credit back to yourself. All right, more than 5 times your money. From here, the 6 months is 15,000. I give you 30,000 of credit. From there, the 12 months is $30,000, and I literally give you 500,000 of credit. But again, it's a Zelle for deposit, and work on that, bank transfer, deposit, or wire. When it comes to 3, 6, and 12 months, I don't take payments at all. So if you can't afford one of those yet, you get into the one for 6 weeks, okay? And that's what you need to do. That'll be up to you as well. As we do this, you can always email if you want to use a credit card. What is our goal? If the banks and grocery stores and cities can do this in your face, why aren't you? They bankrupt locations and write off on their taxes. I think it's time to learn how to play to get auto income, to stop bringing the pain home, become a certified CFO, and reprogram your brain to millionaire status. Again, I always look behind that curtain, tore it apart. I wanted to find out how it worked, and that's what made sense to me. So hopefully you got some good information tonight. All right, and we basically stay safe and strong. We do our best. Jesus does the rest. Amen to that too. At the end of the day, if you have any questions, you can always call the office at 800-254-9506. You can talk to a specialist as well. So have a great and a blessed night, and let's stay safe and strong, do our best, and Jesus does the rest. And always remember, at the end of the day, God loves us all.